Have you ever heard an urban legend so disturbing that you wanted to believe it was fake because the alternative was too terrifying to consider? Tonight, we're diving into 5 infamous stories that people once dismissed as campfire fiction, only to learn they were horrifyingly, stomach-churningly real. Turn off the lights, plug in your headphones, and prepare yourself, because by the end of this video, you won't know which of your favorite scary stories is still just a legend and which ones have already happened. Welcome back to the channel, Horror Fiends. If you love deep dives into the darkest corners of real-world nightmares, make sure you subscribe. Tonight's episode, the darkest urban legends that turned out to be true. 5 stories worse than fiction. Let's begin. Number 1. The man in the back seat. You've heard this one. A woman drives home late at night. Behind her, a truck keeps flashing its high beams. She panics, thinking the driver is trying to harass her. When she pulls into her driveway, the truck screeches to a stop, and the driver jumps out, yelling for her to run.
Someone's in the back seat!
Then she sees him, a shadow rising from her back seat, holding a knife. This story spread through the 70s, 80s, and 90s as a classic urban legend, the kind you'd hear in driver's ed to scare teens into locking their cars. But the chilling part is that it actually happened, and more than once. One of the most famous real cases occurred in 1990 in Pennsylvania. A woman heading home after a late shift passed through a dimly lit parking lot. As she got into her car, she didn't notice the man hiding behind a dumpster, waiting for the perfect moment. He slipped into her unlocked back door just before she drove away. A truck driver passing by happened to see it. He watched the man duck down behind her seat, clutching something metallic. Not knowing if it was a weapon and unable to call police quickly, he did the only thing he could think of. He flashed his headlights every time the backseat figure moved. Imagine being that woman. You're alone, tired, heading home, while a stranger crouches inches behind your head, waiting for the right moment to strike. Police later confirmed the man had been responsible for multiple assaults in the area. He admitted he'd planned to attack her the moment she stopped the car. This urban legend isn't a cautionary tale. It's a reminder. Always check your backseat.
What are you looking for? Nothing, I have this list.
Number 2. The body under the bed. A couple checks into a motel. There's a weird smell. Sour, metallic, rotten. They assume it's nothing. Maybe the room wasn't cleaned well. They sleep anyway. But the smell gets worse. Finally, staff investigate and find a decomposing body hidden inside the bed frame. Most people assume this story is fake because it sounds way too gruesome. But here's the disturbing truth. Cases like this have happened over a dozen times. One of the most infamous occurred in 1999 in Atlantic City. A German tourist stayed in a motel for several days. He complained multiple times about the foul odor. Staff brushed him off, claiming it was just the beach air. When housekeeping finally checked the room after he left, they discovered a woman's body stuffed inside the wooden box spring. She had been there the entire time, just inches beneath his mattress. The heat, the pressure, the enclosed space, it all accelerated decomposition. The smell was so powerful that police described it as impossible to ever forget. Another case in 2010 involved a motel in Memphis where guests stayed in a room for 3 days before anyone bothered to check the source of the odor and found a corpse decaying beneath them. Think about that the next time you check into a cheap motel. Sometimes the scariest part isn't the room, it's what's already waiting inside. Number 3. The stalker living in the walls. This one sounds like a horror movie. Someone secretly living in your attic, crawling through your vents, watching you when you sleep. But it's not fiction. In Berlin, 1987, a woman began noticing strange things in her home. Missing food, empty milk cartons, lights switching on while she was away. She thought she was losing her mind. She even wondered if someone was gaslighting her. Finally, she set up cameras. When she reviewed the footage, she froze. A man she had never seen before emerged from a tiny attic hatch, quietly climbed down, rummaged through her kitchen, then crawled back out of sight. He had been living there for months. Police discovered he'd carved a small nook inside the insulation and had been surviving off her groceries. He knew her entire schedule. He knew when she'd be home. He waited until she slept to shower, eat, and wander. In Japan, a similar case made national headlines. A homeless woman lived in a man's cupboard for nearly a year. She would climb out only when he left for work. He suspected something was off when food kept disappearing and assumed he was forgetting things. It wasn't until he installed surveillance cameras that he saw her crawling out of a cabinet like something straight out of a nightmare. It's easy to laugh at the idea of someone living in your walls, but these stories prove the truth is sometimes more disturbing than any ghost tale. Number 4. The Slender Man Attempted Sacrifice. Slender Man began as a creepypasta, an internet boogeyman, a tall, faceless figure in a suit who lurks in the woods and whispers to children. Everyone knew he wasn't real. At least, everyone thought so. In 2014, two 12-year-old girls from Wisconsin lured their friends into the woods under the pretense of hide and seek. Once she was distracted, they attacked her, stabbing her 19 times. Their motive? To prove their loyalty to Slender Man. They believed that if they killed their friend, Slender Man would allow them to become his servants and live with him in a mansion deep inside the forest. It's one of the most disturbing examples of an urban legend crossing into reality, not because the monster existed, but because belief in him became powerful enough to inspire real violence. The victim survived by crawling out of the woods to a nearby road where a cyclist found her. But the idea that a simple internet myth could warp young minds so intensely sent shockwaves across the world. This legend didn't become real because of a supernatural monster. It became real because humans can be far more dangerous than the things we invent. Number 5. The Candyman Poisoned Candy Killer. Halloween comes with warnings. Check your candy. Avoid homemade treats. Trust no one. Most people believed the poisoned candy legend is nonsense, but its roots are horrifyingly real, and the truth is worse than the story. In 1974, 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien died after eating a pixie sticks laced with cyanide. Parents panicked. The community assumed a random madman was poisoning kids, but the truth was unimaginably darker. The killer was the boy's father. Ronald O'Brien had taken out multiple life insurance policies on his children and planned to kill them and several neighborhood kids. To make the murder look random, he gave the poisoned candy to his son first. Timothy died within hours. This event became the foundation for decades of Halloween paranoia, turning a creepy rumor into a genuine societal fear. And while there's no evidence of widespread random Halloween poisoners, this case alone was enough to cement the legend forever. Because sometimes the scariest monster isn't a stranger hiding in the dark. It's someone you trust. Urban legends comfort us because they feel fake, a safe way to explore the darkness without ever truly being in danger. But when the stories turn out to be real, that's when the ground falls out from under you. If tonight's episode terrified you in all the right ways, smash that like button, subscribe, and comment which story hit you the hardest.